Hey guys, how you doing? It's Greg and Ashley with Gamers of Coffee. We are going to do another Zvezda game, man. And this is, look at this, Operation Barbarossa. So we are going to do the second scenario. We're going to span down to the table here in a minute. So what do we got here?
The Russian village.
So they always give you really adequate directions. And on this, it's going to be scenario 2, the Russian village. So, as a wave of German soldiers flowed into Russia, securing the roads and railways was a critical component to their strategy. Unfortunately for the villages along the roads, this meant the focus of a battle was often in the center of a town. The scenario ends when all the Soviet units have either reached a rendezvous area or have been destroyed, right? So, the player with the most glory points is the winner. This goes on to give our force list, and we're going to switch over and show the table, and we'll talk about that force list. So hold on a second.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to kind of go over the forces. This really cool tank is not part of the force. It's a dice tower. So
that's our dice tower.
There you go. So part of the.
We'll start with the German army.
Yeah. So group 1, which is called Heinrich's group. That's. What we got over here is, we got the cards show you there, you got your Panzer II tank, we got headquarters, we got an MG crew, and a mortar crew. Oh, that's what we're going to start with.
That's group 1, which is...
Yep, Heinrich's group.
Heinrich, okay.
Group 2 is auto, it's a main detachment, so it's going to let me bring in a Panzer III, some infantry, and...
The plane. I'm so screwed with that one.
It's going to have a supply truck. So, if you overlook that, that's my forces. Ashley's forces here are Soviet troops 1. You see where they're kind of scattered?
So the ones are these guys up here in the main town.
Okay.
I have...
Group 1 is your garrison, right?
Yep.
Okay.
The 53K MM, or 45 MM. I have a machine gun.
That's an anti-tank gun, by the way.
Yep, anti-tank, sorry. And the machine gun, and then 3 rifle groups.
That's your first
Yep, that's
group.
my first group.
That's also your supply truck.
And then my supply truck's back here as well. My second group has the mortars, the headquarters, and a T-34 tank. So,
your objectives are to hold the village until the end of turn 15. Once you do that, after turn 15, retreat all survivors to the rendezvous area.
Which I believe is like right back over here.
Yeah, and you'll get 30 more points. So 40 points for you for that. What my objective is to take and hold the village before the end of turn 15. So that's a lot. I would get 30 points for that, and if I take and hold the town before the end of turn 15, it would be 40 points. And my goal as Germans is to destroy as many enemy units as possible. Glory points are equal to the force points of each unit destroyed.
So each force has a unit right there.
Yeah. That camera, sorry, if you get too close, it
zooms in too way far. You gotta
also go very slow. So alright, you guys, that's the scenario for this. And we're going to go ahead and go to round 1 and show you what's being done. Alright, you guys, this is the end of round 1. Not a whole lot happened, but we'll start with Ashley.
So, most of my guys are all basically defending, so I was able to go first. None of my guys over here were able to shoot at anything. They were all just right out of range. My mortars, on the other hand, that's up in the little village over here, did shoot up at his truck.
My supply truck.
And got 1.
It got damage on it, yeah.
And that was all for the order numbers for the defending. Then basically no one had open fire. Actually, you did have an open fire.
I did. I used my mortars that were here.
Yep, back there.
To shoot at her anti-tank gun, which you see is not there by the destroyed marker. But I didn't destroy it. I just got 1 damage on that one.
And then it was movement, which I moved one of my troops from back here to here, and I moved my resupply truck up.
Yeah, you brought him up. So on my movements, I moved from back here, my Panzer II forward on a move and fire. So it was his turn to fire. My HQ moved forward. That's the HQ. Mortar team did not, because they fired on her anti-tank gun. I moved my machine gunners up one over to here to inch them closer. On the other side, I brought in my Panzer III unit and moved them forward, but was not able to fire. I moved them up what I could. We got some infantry that moved in from here. I didn't move my supply truck because didn't know where I needed it. However, I did move and fire, all right, with the little Panzer II. He was able to take out her tank gun, anti-tank gun.
Yeah, so I've already lost a unit.
So she's lost a unit at this point. I've taken damage to my supply truck. And that's it. We're going to go to round 2. All right. End of round 2.
Round 2.
Round 2. Here we go. So, well, you can see the little marker there on my side.
Yes, I caught one.
Ashley's marker there represented what was her machine gun crew. However, she did take out my HQ. That hurt. She then used her infantry to fire on my Panzer, which was to no avail. The T-34, her infant over here, killed off my infantry that was roughly here.
Right here, I think.
Yeah, I didn't put a marker there.
Oh, running out of markers.
So she got my infantry, a group, and she got my HQ. That was really bad. None of this could really do anything. I did fire my Panzer III at her infantry. What I get?
Got 2.
My machine gun to her machine gun, destruction.
Yeah, he just completely destroyed me on that one.
I then took the handy dandy plane.
Yeah.
We have
my mortars are gone.
Flew right there. I did eliminate her mortars, which are actually a threat to me because they are long distance on those.
6.
I did lose my plane. The ability to bring the plane back in because you have to have an HQ, which is, well, there's the flames of the HQ. So
hey, I knew if I couldn't go and kill the plane, I had to get rid of that HQ. So that was the only way, because I didn't bring my anti-air because I didn't think about it. Because I didn't think you would actually bring the airplane in. But I was wrong!
So the scenario didn't let you have it?
No, not this one.
So
you get extra points.
Yep.
And because the extra points, I didn't bring the air in.
The anti-air.
The anti-air, I didn't think you would actually bring in the airplane.
Well,
so I didn't pick him.
Well, you should have. But anyways, you got rid of my HQ, so
the plane is basically destroyed.
It's gone, so I cannot bring the plane back. So by default, it eliminates the plane. So
I just don't get the points for it.
And then, of course, we'll have to see what happens next because, well, we just will. So anyways.
So as of right now, Greg is in the lead with points.
No, I only have 40 points.
Plus 18 for the mortar you didn't count.
Because you got 35 and 12.
You have 25, 15, and 18.
Oh, okay. All right, well, it's getting to be a little bit of a mess here. So there we go. We'll go to round 3. All right, you guys. End of round 3. I really do like these little markers. I just need to pick up more. It's kind of nice to see where the action was. So, yeah, I'll probably pick up more. Anyways, here we go. The end of round 3, Ashley's T-34 here. Shot at my Panzer III and just took the defense off, but I didn't get no damage. Then your infantry there in front, correct, of the tank where the destroyed marker is.
Yep.
Right there. Fired on the Panzer. Yes, you are allowed to do that. One of the other videos we had someone say infantry cannot fire on tanks.
According to the... Hold on, let me grab the card.
According to your card, it shows you what you can fire at. So if you look at
like
the card, it's right there. you can see that they can shoot at tanks, and they actually roll, depending on the tank, 4 to 5 dice against them. So
you can destroy.
I think it's kind of like, depends on what they have in the group. Infantry could have, you know, rocket or something.
Yeah,
so,
who knows?
But anyways, let's see. So then.
Okay, so.
Yep.
Unit 1, which was here, shot at the Panzer III, missed. Unit 3, which is this guy back here, shot at this little guy, which was up here.
My Panzer II, yep.
And missed. Unit 2, which is these guys, shot at the Panzer and got 1 hit.
Well, it is against my defense, so it didn't.
Yeah, it didn't do nothing, but it knocked down the defense.
Yeah.
He gets the defense back anyway this next round. Alright, and that was the end of mine, because the other guys just moved.
Now mine, for what I did, is I literally used my mortars against the infantry. My mortars, you can see are back here. And all I did was remove the defense, so it didn't do any harm. My Panzer III now, right there, you know, to the infantry, you can see the destroyed marker. When I fired, I did eliminate her infantry. Right there.
Gain 10 points.
Yeah. No, 3 points, I thought you said.
10.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I have it written down.
Okay. And then my Panzer II, the little guy, to hers. Now there's 5 plus a defense, so there's a total of 6 you can take hits. I got 5. So I eliminated 4.
My defense and 4.
Her defense and 4. So out of that group, there's 1 standing. I did, let's see this here. I did advance my machine gun crew from the back. They didn't fire anything. Mortars, of course, I used them. So you can either use those or you move them. You don't move and fire them. And so that's kind of where it stands at right now. Ashley's T-34 also shot at that, my tank.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned that.
It got 2 hits, but it just took her defense out.
Yeah, okay. So she's got her supply truck left. And the nice thing with this is, and as you fire, you are using your ammo. So you only got so many shots before you have to
reinforce
be
them.
next to the resupply, which I think takes a turn too. Right? I think it takes you out for the turn to resupply.
So to supply takes 2 turns to supply.
Okay, so you got to kind of know when to move and when to fire. This obviously isn't over. She's got mortars. She's got 1 guy here. So this group is untouched. And the tank. So now it just depends on what kind of damage her groups do and how I move, etc. So we are going to go to round 4, but I really do like this art of tactics.
I did do my Fortitude tests. They failed, so they're basically battle shocked.
Which is kind of like
shell shocked
or something to that effect. Good thing you brought that up. So they I don't think they can do anything the next round. Don't they have to roll out of it? We'll check that before we go to round 4 here. So we will see you shortly. Here comes round 4. All right, this is the end of round 4. We did move some of our markers up. You can see just a little bit of
I'm hurting.
So go ahead, Ash. Let's see what you...
Alrighty, so I took my HQ, shot at the Panzer III, which was back up over here.
Yep.
And I think he just did...
It just removed one of the defenses, so basically just scratched it. Yeah.
Then my Unit 3 here... if you guys remember, there was a machine gun group here. I suppressed it. I did a suppress fire and actually ended up killing all of them. So they're all KIA. And I got, what, 10 points from him? No, 17 points for that one. And that was those. And then my tank...
Your T-34.
I was going to move and shoot. I was able to move, but because me and Greg both had it, we decided we're going to roll to see who got first. He ended up getting it, so instead of where I was going to shoot at...
How about we explain it this way? You got to mark where you're shooting, and she marked where I was, but she didn't know I was moving and shooting. So therefore, she had nothing to shoot at.
So I ended up just having moved.
Yeah, so that's kind of how that works. Now, my Panzer II, if you can see the marker right in front.
Oi!
Oh, wow.
Timber!
You... There was her infantry there that I got rid of in front of the Panzer II. And my mortars back here, I fired at the group there in the center at the end of range. Didn't do anything. My Panzer III fired at her HQ, but all it did was remove her defense, so nothing.
Luckily.
So basically, it's just, well, it's winding down.
Yeah, it's not going to last too much longer.
Well,
Maybe.
it depends. Each tank represents 3 tanks.
3 tanks.
So you got to get some hits in on there. So we'll see what happens here, because her T-34 is not really just an easy tank to take out. So we're going to go to round 5. Here we go, you guys. Well, you guys, end of round 5. This is the final round. So what I'd like is, I'll explain in a minute, but please leave your comments, like this, and share it. We'd appreciate it. This was pretty close, actually. So, Ashley, go ahead. Well, so the Germans won, but by a hair. So go ahead, Ashley.
All right. So, being Russian, I was able to defend, and I rolled first because he defended too. So, my Unit 3, which you can see is no longer here, shot at Greg's Panzer III in the butt.
Yeah. Actually,
it did 1 hit, which took out the shield defense. I couldn't do anything with them because I didn't read it all the way through, so that was my mistake. I could only ambush in the deep woods. And then I shot with the T-34, got 4 hits, and was able to kill 2 of his tanks.
And see, that tank represents 3 tanks. So in a tank fight in that area, her tank took out 2 of the 3 of mine, which was a lot of damage. So for me, the Panzer II, the little guy there, fired on an infantry that was there, and I got 3. My Panzer III actually has a defensive unit. It fired on infantry and
knocked him out.
So they survived both tank attacks. When it came time for my mortar crew to fire, they finished them off. So I got rid of hers. Now, my Panzer III had to take a fortitude test, and I passed.
Lucky.
But then I realized, well, I've got the Panzer II in the city. I secured the city.
Because he took out this last one. That was the mission.
Which is a condition for victory. So right there I won. That gave me 40 extra points.
Yep.
Had I had a unit over here, by the end of turn 15, I could have got, securing a village, another set of points. But Ashley also made a mistake.
I took him out.
She moved him out, but that's because I did have the plane. My plane took her mortar crew out.
Yep.
So we had just been chit-chatting before we filmed this. I mean, looking back in retrospective, here, let me see that. She should have, if her mortars survived, it would have been better to leave them, because her job is to defend both, and then eventually beat me out and go back this way and make a rendezvous point. And had it gone on further, right, which it could, you could just have roll turns where nobody gets anything. Round 15, she would have got an extra 60 points. Now, if you look at the cards, each of the cards have points on them. Infantry, for instance, like over there, is a little bit far off, but they're 10 points. So she could have brought in 6 more infantry units.
If I was able to lock
the infantry does apparently have whatever capabilities with it to destroy tanks. So it isn't just rifled infantry. So they've obviously got, something to take the tanks out with. So with that said, I believe, just kind of as commentary, I think my Panzer III here, if she ambushed him and was successful, I don't think the last unit would survive. I'm betting it would have been down to this tank against her T-34, both at full strength, both groups. And probably I would have lost. I think it would have ended up between the mortars and the HQ, which would have drug out forever, because eventually the HQ would have to charge them and assault them. And these guys, because you can only move them, you can't move and fire them, it would have just drug out forever. So the good thing is I got that. But then I didn't realize it till just, before we videoed this part. It didn't dawn on me. We were looking at it, I was like, oh crap, that's right. So that was a victory condition. But narrowly, this is really surprising to me that I lost 2 of my 3 units. But it was the tank that did it too. So the tank hitting it, and infantry can hit, but the tank was just devastating on mine. So there you go, you guys. That is Operation Barbarossa. This is a Zvezda game, the Art of Tactic rules, the hex encounter with miniatures. I'm telling you, Jeff, if you watched it this far, you would like it, because you got, instead of chits, you got miniatures representing, same thing that chits do, they represent X amount of whatever. That's what these miniatures do. So it's just kind of a little different approach. And I think it actually, even though the Germans won, I think it was closer than what we thought. So
yeah, I was thinking it would have been over a lot sooner.
But you did really well.
I was able to do a good couple defense
Your
rolls.
tank really busted up my group of tanks. So there you go, guys. If you got a chance to get the Zvezda games, you got to get the starter box. It's 2 tanks on the cover. And really, it's worth it. That you got to have that before you buy these expansions, and they're harder and harder to find. So if you could get one, pick it up. Anyways, remember our show Sundays 4 p.m. Central, and check out our coffee shop and merch and tea at gamerswithcoffee.shop. There you go, you guys. Oh, free shipping on the orders. Shameless plug, because, well, we love what we do. We'll catch you guys later. Thank you.
Bye.